Russian President Vladimir Putin's special operation against Ukraine has raised fears of a nuclear escalation with the West. On February 27th, Putin puts Russia's nuclear forces on high alert. On April 20th, Putin issues veiled threat as Russia tests a new long-range nuclear-capable missile called RS-28 Saturn II. While the US doesn't communicate much on its nuclear weapons, Russia has been showcasing its advances. Putin has repeatedly bragged of Russia's military prowess and extensive arsenal of nuclear weapons. Moscow used its arsenal as a deterrent to discourage the US and its allies from taking more action in the Ukraine war. Many analysts say it's unlikely the weapons will be used in warfare, although it can be ruled out.
It's another step to actually use nuclear weapons because once you do, all bets are off in terms of how destructive this new phase is going to be.
But who exactly controls Russia's nuclear bombs? Can Putin go crazy and launch an attack on his own? So, here is what we know about Russia's nuclear inventory. The US president has the mysterious black briefcase that is always within an easy reach and called a nuclear football. It's also known as the atomic football, the black box or the button. The device itself is a metal case that is placed inside a black leather bag. The bag is carried by a military officer that serves as an aide to the president. The aide is always with the president, whenever he is out of the White House. This briefcase has mystified people for decades and has become a symbol of president's great responsibility. There are a great number of misconceptions about this device. The first one is that there is only one. In reality, there are actually 3 nuclear footballs. The first one always stays with the president. The second one is always with the vice president, if the president becomes incapacitated. And the last one is a spare, that stays at the White House. Despite popular belief, there is no magic red button that president can press to blow up the world. Instead, the black box has the communication equipment and the decision-making papers that the president would use to authenticate his orders and launch a strike. If the president decides to order the use of nuclear weapons, after establishing secure communications, he would review the attack options with the Secretary of Defense and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Before the order can be processed by the military, the president must be positively identified using a special code from the biscuit. The biscuit is a small plastic card that the president also carries on his body. For example, Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan preferred to keep the lunch cards in their jacket pockets. The United States has a 2-man rule in place at nuclear launch facilities. And while only the president can order the release of nuclear weapons, the order must be verified by the Secretary of Defense to be an authentic order given by the president. Once all the codes have been verified, the president may direct the use of nuclear weapons through an execute order via the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to the combatant commanders, and ultimately to the forces in the field exercising direct control of the weapons. These orders are given and then re-verified for authenticity. Therefore, there are layers of safeguards within the current system designed to ensure any orders is both legal and proportionally appropriate. But why am I telling you about the US atomic football? Because Russia has a similar system. Communication device for the command and control of Russia's strategic nuclear forces also looks like black briefcase. It was named Cheget. There are also 3 briefcases that are carried by military officers. Russia's atomic briefcases lie with the President, Vladimir Putin, Chief of Staff Valery Gerasimov and Defense Minister General Sergei Shoigu. Shoigu, a close confidant of Putin for over 30 years, was appointed Defense Minister in 2012. He is very well connected, plays a central role in Russian politics, and has been discussed as a possible successor to Putin. Valery Gerasimov is the first deputy defense minister and leads the army in the absence of Secretary of Defense. The nuclear weapons require the secret codes from at least 2 nuclear briefcases. That's making Putin dependent on one of the 2 generals for their use. This system serves as a safeguard against a serious error in the use of nuclear weapons. The Russian nuclear doctrine excludes a preemptive strike. They should respond, not attack. In addition, the chance that Russia would launch a preemptive attack is negligible, since they know that Russia would be wiped off the map with a retaliatory strike. Even if Putin have any problems with mental health, I'm sure that his generals not so insane. While Shoigu tells on TV about aggressive West, his daughter spent time in Italy. However, what will happen if the codes will be sent from 2 devices? Main Center for Missile Attack Warning of the Strategic Rocket Forces of the Russian Federation will receive the signal and must initiate a nuclear strike through the passing of authorization codes to combatant commanders. So, there are several officers in this chain of command who can prevent the strike to proceed. The officers in the main center will not pass on the order, or missile crew will not execute it if they think that the order is erroneous or unlawful. Or even the officers who carry triad briefcases may refuse to follow an unlawful order if they understand that Putin wants to attack, not to defend. There have been numerous times when the nuclear strike was stopped according to this vast array of checks and balances, like it was in the Soviet nuclear false alarm incident in 1983. Stanislav Petrov was the duty officer at the command center when the system reported that a missile had been launched from the United States. Petrov judged the reports to be a false alarm. His subsequent decision to disobey orders against Soviet military protocol is credited with having prevented an erroneous retaliatory nuclear attack on the United States that could have resulted in a large-scale nuclear war. Because of his decision not to launch a retaliatory nuclear strike, Petrov is often credited as having saved the world. Modern nuclear weapon not designed just to kill soldiers. It is designed to destroy cities or take out critical infrastructure. It could wipe out half of the population of the countries involved in less than 1 hour. At the heart of Moscow's arsenal is what military experts call the nuclear triad. The US also has nuclear triad status, while China has been working to achieve the same advanced version in recent years. In principle, Russia's weapons can be delivered by air with strategic bombers such as Tu-160, by its navy with nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, and by land-based ballistic launchers such as RS-24 Yars. Russia's intercontinental ballistic missiles are capable of hitting the US in 20 to 30 minutes. The explosive force of atomic bombs is measured in kilotons, and warheads of these weapons have a power of as much as 400 according to defense analysts. That's more than 25 times the atomic bomb the US used in Hiroshima, Japan, at the end of Second World War. Days after the first bomb, another was dropped on Nagasaki. It became a last atomic bomb to be used in combat. Since then, countries have built up arsenals as a deterrent for conflict. In the case of a nuclear war, both countries, Russia and the United States, have a fairly deadly and mutually assured destruction systems. Russia's dead hand, also known as perimeter, can automatically initiate the launch of the Russian intercontinental ballistic missiles if a nuclear strike is detected by seismic, light, radioactivity and pressure sensors, even with the commanding elements fully destroyed. The system sends out a command missile with a special warhead that in its turn passes commands to open all silos and all command centers of the strategic rocket forces. The command missile system is similar to the US emergency rocket communications system. As you can see, a nuclear war will be too destructive and there will be no winner in. So, Russia will only threaten with its nuclear arsenal, but will not use it. I hope.